football fans, spring football and UFL fans. How are you doing? Well, let's get to it. We had the two games today. The regional action on Fox today, and for the second week in a row, the regional action actually worked out. Last week was because it was a thunderstorm in Birmingham. This week because the Birmingham game got boring pretty fast. So ratings should be interesting for this game. Anyway, I thought Houston, since they matched up pretty well in the past, would give Birmingham a better game, since they have played them tough in all four games. In fact, Birmingham's last loss was to the same Houston Roughnecks/Gamblers last year in Week 5. Apparently, Birmingham learned their lesson. They won this game 32-9. This game was really never close. It was the one touchdown pass from Reed Sinnett to Kiki Chisholm. That beautiful catch. He got down the 1 yard line. Cut the lead to make it a game, but that was it. Those would be the only touchdown Houston would score the rest of the game. They win 32-9. Adrian Martinez wasn't great today, but he was effective. 11 of 20 for 155 yards, one touchdown pass. He was also the team's leading rusher with 138 yards, averaging 15 yards a carry. So Adrian Martinez, the runner, was more effective than Adrian Martinez, the passer. Reed Sinnett, not a bad game. 27 of 38, 203 yards, one touchdown, one pick. First downs was even at 19 apiece. Total yards 258 to 271 in favor of Birmingham. Total plays was actually in favor of Houston by 3, 57 to 54. Time possession was even, 31 to 29. So there weren't many sacks this game. One for Birmingham, two for Houston. Although Houston did turn over the ball over twice, and that was a killer. But all in all, this game was a snoozer, and this is why they probably left this game for the Arlington San Antonio game. There isn't really much to talk about here. I mean, Justin Hall and Kiki Chisholm did have pretty good yards, good games receiving. 11 for 93 for Justin Hall, 7 for 88, and an unbelievable catch at the end of the half for 88 yards. The rushing game was pathetic for Houston, and this is where Birmingham won this game easily. 213 to 36, of course, with Martinez being the leading rusher. Larry Roundtree had 50 yards. Ricky Person had 25 yards. This is where that game made a big difference. The Houston team was very disappointed today. Coming off that win, I know it was against Arlington. I thought they'd do better, get some momentum. They do know how to play this team pretty well. Wasn't the case today. Birmingham has finally learned their lesson. I thought this could be a trap game for them. It wasn't. So now Houston is now 1-4. Birmingham is now 5-0. That's it for that game. This game ain't worth talking about anymore. Let's see. Now we'll talk about the other game now. San Antonio and Arlington at Choctaw Stadium. There were over 10,000 people for this game at Choctaw, which is about an increase about just over 3,500 from last week, but still down from their average of 12,000 plus last year. But they saw a pretty good ball game. It was at one point 15-0, I think, San Antonio. Then they came back to tie the game, and then it became a game of pretty bad play calling and mistakes. Of course, hold on. Luis Perez got over the 1,000 yard mark this year for yards passing. He was 26 of 36 with 270 yards. one touchdown. Not a bad game at all. Quentin Dormady, didn't have his greatest game. 19 of 31, 164 yards, one touchdown and three interceptions. Two of them which were tipped into the hands of the other team. One which I didn't get at the end of the game, where all San Antonio had to do was run the ball and run the clock out. They decided to pass the ball, interception. It gave Arlington some life, but Arlington's time management was absolutely terrible. Of course, again, like the last game, the big difference in this game, rushing yards. San Antonio ran for 190 yards. Arlington, 59. You're not going to win games like that. And I'm trying to see who was the... Yeah, Day Hunter was the leading rusher with 33 yards. That's not going to cut it against a defense like this. If San Antonio can make you one-dimensional, especially against a struggling offense like Arlington, good night. As a result, Arlington is now 0-5, which is absolutely terrible for the league. I'm sorry, when you have a quarterback come like Luis Perez and Bob Stoops at 0-5, and you're the defending champions, this is not good for the league. San Antonio is now 4-1, so they've already won more games this year than they did all last year. So good job. Wade Phillips has made a big difference. Their offensive line play has improved greatly, and they have better quarterbacks, but that's because they have a better offensive line this year. Total yards was 350 to 311 in favor of San Antonio. Not much difference there, because the big difference was the run game. They had 100. The Brahmas had 130 yards more on the ground, and when you win the battle at the line of scrimmage, you'll win every game. First downs were even, 18-18. Time possession, 33.5 to 26.5. So offensively, it looked pretty even, but the difference is San Antonio was able to run the ball. John Lovett had 95 yards on 13 carries, averaging over 7 yards a carry, which is pretty good. Ellison Morgan had 84 yards, averaging 12 yards a carry. There's your difference making the game right there. J.P. Payne did have 119 yards in receiving and one touchdown pass. Him and Luis Perez are probably the bright spots of the offense. There was nothing on the ground for Arlington whatsoever. The rest of the team was receiving by committee, and they did a solid job all around doing that. San Antonio receiving the same thing by committee, but they dominated the ground game. So that is your Saturday action already for week 5 of the UFL. Tomorrow, as you see, I will be in D.C. I'm leaving in a few hours. I'll be there for the St. Louis D.C. game. To me, that's the game of the week. It'll be followed by the Memphis-Michigan game, which is now going to be a very big game for second place. As we see, the USFL division right now is totally lopsided, with Birmingham being a dominant team. And if DC go in tomorrow, we'll have a 3-team race, at least in the XFL division. So there you go. Let me know what you thought about the game. The Fox coverage was pretty good. Like I said, I'm very thankful they switched my game, which was the horrible Birmingham game, over to the Arlington and San Antonio game. So we were complaining about the regional action. I still don't like it, but it worked out because of 1, the weather, and 2, how lopsided one game was. So I will have some video tomorrow of my game day experience. Well, actually Monday I'll have it for you. My game day experience at Audi Field. I've done a video like this before, back in 2020 when I went against the New York Guardians. And I'm going to treat myself also to the Rangers and Capitals hockey game. So, you all have a good night. We'll talk to you later.